Yeah. My name's Adam Turner. I'm principal conductor and artistic advisor at Virginia Opera, and I'm conducting this production of Samson and Delilah. You know, one of the reasons that we initially went for Samson and Delilah, I have to say, is a personal reason. It's one of the very first productions I ever participated in professionally. Years ago, just a few years ago, at Florida Grand Opera in Miami. It was the very first production that I ever assisted as a conductor. And in that cast, the Delilah was Denise Graves, of course, one of these phenomenal singers, talents from the Metropolitan Opera, who sung the role all over the world. And we were in the middle of rehearsing another show at the same time, so the conductor actually missed a lot of the rehearsals. And there I was, as a 20-something, thrust into these staging rehearsals and conducting Denise Graves and learning this music alongside one of the biggest singers of this role in history. It was a fabulous experience. And so I fell in love with the score then and have thought, how can we get this to Virginia Opera? When is the right time? We looked into presenting this for Virginia Opera. I thought, you know, this is perfect for the First to First series. We've never done it in our 43-year history. This is a piece that we've never produced. And it has rich choral music, great drama, a wonderfully accessible story, of course, the Old Testament story of Samson and Delilah. And I just thought, this is something our audiences will just love and fall in love with, as I did so many years ago. You know, the cast is phenomenal. They're a luxury. We have 3 people returning, and then actually 4 people, if I really think about it, because we have 3 in the principal roles. Derek Taylor, who was here last season as Kalaf, Kathy Goldner and Michael Chioli both were with us in recent seasons from our Salome. And then from 2001, a former young artist, actually bass baritone Ruben Casas. All of them coming back to Virginia Opera because they love working here. And then we're highlighting the debut of a senior veteran of the opera industry, Stefan Schwaforowski, who's singing the Old Hebrew. Of course, he's done the Old Hebrew at the Met. So what a great moment for us. And you know, 4 of the 5 principal artists, they're debuting these roles with Virginia Opera. And I think, wow, that's one of the unique things that Virginia Opera is able to bring in this level of talent and give them their first opportunities to perform the roles. I think that's why people keep coming back, like Michael Chioli and Kathy Goldner and Derek Taylor. That's why they come back. We afford them so many wonderful opportunities to perform these roles over and over again. So when they go over to the big houses in Europe or the Met or San Francisco, some of the bigger theaters, they've had their moment to practice it here in Virginia and perfect the roles. So it's really just a win-win situation for everybody. Thinking about the music in the show, there's not one single piece that I can just pick out and isolate as my favorite. Of course, the Bacchanal in Act 3, this fabulous piece of symphonic music that everybody's heard on every Pops concert ever. That's a great piece of music, and it'll be danced beautifully. I can't wait to see what we come up with and how that all works. But golly geez, there's so many wonderful arias. Delilah has 3 arias, 2 in Act 2 alone. And these are some of the most famous arias for mezzo-soprano in history. And so, you know, I love the opportunity to accompany those. And there are also these duets in the second act that are very much like Wagner. They require a sense of pacing and a sense of dramatic momentum that you can only get when you're really paying attention to what's happening on stage and what the actors are doing up there. And so I love to be a participant in that with the orchestra, getting them to participate and motivate some of those intentions and really color the scene like a film score. It's very motion picturesque. at times. I think especially Act 2, there's this storm brewing. Delilah's trying to seduce Samson, and you hear all of this rumbling, the earth quaking with God's wrath, and there's a storm you hear in the thunder, and all this stuff. It's really seductive music for the ears, and I think our audiences are just going to eat it up.